Hi, my name is Sean, and this is my 1973 Datsun 240Z. This is a car that I've owned for over 30 years now. Bought it in 1991, my last year in high school, from a gentleman who imported it into Canada from California. It is was a California and Texas car and has never been winter driven, hence the reason it's not rusted to pieces. Car was painted in 1996, so 24 years ago. It's painted in an avocado metallic, very similar to paint code 113. Same green base, but it has a lot more gold metallic in it. When the sun hits it, you can really see it. So for modifications from a standard 240Z, you'll notice that has a 280Z hood on it with the louvers. Installed that to keep the underhood temperatures down and also to alleviate some front end lifting at speed. Also installed it's a xenon urethane air dam, so it's not fiberglass, it's flexible, which is good in case you hit a curb. The bumper itself, those are smaller bumpers. Those are earlier 240Z bumpers. The 73 had the bigger bumpers with the filler panel behind and large bumperettes. So bumperettes are removed and rubber's removed. On the rear, put those new bumpers on in 2015. Those are the European style bumpers, re-chromed, and they have no holes for the rubber and no holes for the bumperettes. Louvers were original. Came to the car when I bought it in 1991. Wheels are Koenig rewinds, 16x7s. And tires are Dunlop Durezza Z2 Star Specs. Had those on for a while, and I liked them for autocross, but I'm going to have to replace those over the winter. They're definitely towards the end of their tread life. And those are 205 50/16s. So I think that pretty much covers the exterior of the car. Now let's have a look in the passenger compartment. So first off, you'll note that those are not 240Z standard seats. Original seats that I had had been recovered at some point in a butterscotch colored velour. And the cushions themselves were gone, and I needed to replace them, so I decided to go with a replacement seat. I saw these Honda S2000 seats for sale, and they are very comfortable. They fit in there really well, and I think they're a nice fit with the 240Z. Anyway, started autocrossing last year, and I have a long torso and not enough headroom with the thick cushion on those seats, so I took the seat bases in to get them modified by a local upholsterer last winter. So now for the driver's seat, the cushion is actually removable. So I have some smaller pads I can put in there, and by removing those pads, it gives me the headroom so that I can autocross comfortably in a good driving position. This past winter, I actually installed a new steering wheel. This one is it's a replica of a Datsun competition steering wheel, so it's smaller than the standard steering wheel and has a thicker diameter slightly. You'll see also that it has what's looked like a good dash, but it's actually a full face dash cap. When I bought the car, it already had a half cap on it 30 years ago, and the half dash cap had actually cracked, so I put a full face one on. At the same time, I was installing the stereo system, so that allowed me to embed the tweeters into the dash itself. The dash underneath was really a mess, so it wasn't a hard decision to install them in the dash. Door cards were already cut too. There were speakers in the door, so I just upgraded those to JBL components and installed them. Has a Pioneer head unit, which is actually very good. Makes some nice sound. To power it, I have a 700 watt amp behind the front seat, or behind the passenger seat. Usually in the back there's a couple of 6-inch JL Audio subs in sealed enclosures, but those are removed for autocross because they're kind of heavy. Alright, so that's the interior. Let me pop the hood. Alright, so in 2000 I replaced the engine in my car, the L24 original blew the head gasket, and I was living in California at the time and had a garage there. Installed a remanufactured L28 long block. At the time installed some Schneider camshaft with the springs, etc., to accommodate that, and decided to keep the original intake manifold and carburetors, which are actually earlier carburetors from an earlier 240. 73 had the flat top SU or Hitachi carburetors, SU equivalents, and it runs really well, really strong, sounds great. Also has a Motorsports Auto 6-in-1 headers with 2.5-inch exhaust all the way back. You'll see an extended heat shield here. I installed the extension on that again just recently because it was hot here this summer. I was autocrossing and having to wait in line for my go. Ended up percolating the fuel in the float bowls and had a miss when I'd take off, so installed those. As a 3-core high-efficiency radiator. Never have a problem about the actual engine itself running hot, usually just percolating fuel for the carburetors. And if you look closely, that is actually the original green with no extra metallic in it. Compared to this paint, you can see there's a lot more gold flake in this paint. All right, well, I think that pretty much sums it up. So maybe I'll give it a start and you can hear it run. Anyway, as I mentioned, I'm Sean, and this is my 1973 Datsun 240Z.